Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. Strong language, mature scenes, and things that go bump in the night are ahead. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., which may bear resemblance to cosmic entities from the great beyond, are strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways podcast. I am your keeper this evening, Keeper Michael, and we return to our Investigation in Arkham series, which was going splendidly. Now that we have all of our investigators together, let's see what shenanigans they can get up with tonight. And so, as we'd like to do at the top of the show, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter, which you can do if you're not already at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. And so, we'll be brief and get directly to character and player introductions to my right.
Hi there, this is Mike, and I'm playing the more mature and distinguished of the Thurgood siblings, Charles, who is following a trail that he's found, but it's getting a bit dark, so he needs some sort of illumination. And our pronouns are he, him.
Fabulous. Next to Charles.
Hi, this is Morgan, and I'm playing Annie Mae Thurgood. Our pronouns are she, her, and I am still the younger and better-looking twin. And I got to interrogate Ms. Chamberlain last episode about her dreams. So excited. I mean, we could be stepping right in the middle of a paranormal phenomena.
Indeed, you could be. Let's find out more. Next, to Annie Mae.
Hi, I'm Bunny, and I'm playing Detective Beatrice Locke. Our pronouns are she, her, and it looks like I have a bunch of teens to talk to. Well, young adults.
Yes, collegiate people that you may have to talk to very soon. Speaking of, last but most certainly not least.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I play Catherine Chamberlain. And it's nice that I get to at least walk around the place that has been center of my mind for a couple of days.
It is, absolutely. We will rejoin our investigation now and raise the curtain back just moments later atop Robbins Hill as the scene continues. So, Charles, you were going to attempt to acquire a flashlight?
Yes, so yeah, Charles has found some footprints, but all he's got is this little matchbook in his pocket, which he thinks is probably not going to be satisfactory. So he's come over to find his sister and Detective Locke again, and been introduced to Miss Chamberlain. And said, Detective Locke, I wonder if I might borrow your a flashlight for a moment. I've found some footprints, and I'm eager to find out where they go, now that I have been deputized.
I wonder if those are the same ones I followed last night or not. Or if they're perhaps the farmers.
Is the farmer a suspect?
No, he just was up here with us last night when we accompanied him to follow where the source of the scream he heard was.
Oh, yes, of course, he heard the screaming and yes.
It was quite rainy last night, so footprints from last night are quite well embedded. So it could have been his. That's all. She'll rifle through her bag and pull out like a smaller ever-ready flashlight. The kinds that Boy Scouts were already using in this era.
Yeah, easy done.
It's not my best flashlight, but it's my backup in case something happens to it.
Oh, that'll do nicely. Thank you very much. I must start carrying one of these with me. You never know when they're going to come in useful. Now, where were those footprints? And I'll just wander off again, start looking for the footprints.
Try not to go too far.
Oh, no, don't you worry. I shall go where the leads take me. Ha-ha.
So Charles wanders off with the flashlight, leaving Catherine, Detective Locke, and Annie Mae here.
I'm going to just follow him. He's a penchant for getting into trouble.
All right, I'll try to catch up with you both soon if you don't come back. I just want to make sure that this one is safe here and then safely back down the hill.
Sure, Catherine, or Ms. Chamberlain, if you don't mind, maybe I chat with you tomorrow about your dreams?
Sure.
I have a few more tests that I want to would like to do on you if that is okay as well. They're non-invasive.
I'll think about it and we can discuss later.
Oh, good. It was, wonderful meeting you. Detective, I'll see you in a moment, and I tattle off to find Charles.
Okay. And then there were two.
Yeah, Charles has just gone off humming a little tune to himself as he gets stuck into this. He's very excited about being part of this whole investigation.
So the better question is, since I was coming from my parents' house, I probably don't have like a flashlight with me.
Nope.
So, Detective Locke, do you have a second flashlight?
No, but as long as you keep me walking alongside you, this beam of light should prove sufficient. She is basically your shadow.
Oh, I meant because didn't you just give your flashlight to Charles?
I gave my second one to Charles. It was the one that was my backup in case something happens to the better flashlight I use for cop work. But no, so she's standing right up next to you with her flashlight, willing to point it wherever you want, but not letting you go unaccompanied.
And that's okay. So I'll just kind of point. Can you just kind of flash it over the whole area so I can kind of get just like an understanding?
Sure. I will warn you that there is quite a mess up here, as it stopped raining before it was washed away, and I'll pan the area with the light, trying not to focus too long on any potential viscera angels.
Can I make like a search roll or something to see if there's like to see if I recognize the area from this angle as I would have from above?
You can make a power roll.
Okay. Hey, that is much better. I rolled a 31 under 80. So that's a hard success.
It is a hard success. So you instantly know that this is the wrong angle. You're too close. You need to be way, way higher. But barring that, maybe there's like a tree or something you could climb.
Is there a tree or another part on the hill that would give a better vantage point to like look down?
There is. Yes. I will take her over to the tree that I climbed last night to fetch something shiny.
Indeed. Okay. Yeah, you get taken to a tree. It's relatively sturdy. It's probably something one could climb. Maybe not you, but someone could.
Well, I'm gonna try to climb the tree.
Okay, that's definitely a climb roll.
006.
That's fantastic. So yeah, you amble right up. Detective Locke, you watch her, very easily and without any sort of hesitation, climb right up the tree, and you get very high up, 30, 40 feet onto this tree. And that's when you begin to feel two things. One, you begin to feel like you're locking on to the height that you need to be. And two, you're beginning to feel the sway of the tree because you're that high up. And you can look down and just in the last vestiges of twilight see the slab. You see the light off in the distance of maybe where Charles and Annie Mae went to. And while you're on this tree, waiting, taking in the sight, a raven lands on the tree, the branch no more than 5 feet from you. It doesn't make a sound. It just sits there.
Is it like looking at me?
It definitely does regard you.
Okay.
But it moves about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna reach out to it because I'm pretty high up in a tree. The branches are inherently a little less stable the higher up you get, so I'm probably not going to move around tons because I don't want to fall out of the tree. Is it the right angle for what I remember seeing in my visions?
Yeah. It's more than just the right angle. It's the right angle. It's almost the right light. If you were just a little further out on the branch, in fact, if you didn't know it any better, you'd say that the raven was in the right position. And it turns to you and turns its head a couple of times to sort of stare at you.
I'm going to move out towards the raven.
Okay. You move out. What's your size?
My size is 50.
Okay. You move out a little bit towards the raven, slowly and carefully. I mean, there's a branch here, sure, but it's not nearly as, sort of thick as the trunk that you were originally on. Detective, you can see that she's moving out on the branch. This looks oddly familiar from this angle to you.
Please be careful.
Yes, Detective Locke.
Shit. It's not like I can really do anything about her trying to pet a raven from all the way down here.
You get closer to it. It doesn't seem to be scared off by you in any way, shape, or form. It sits there. It adjusts a little bit as the sort of sway of the branch moves with your weight.
I mean, ravens hanging out in that tree would make sense. The scavenger might have been what took that piece of intestines up there. The other markings up there weren't the right size, but if a person was up there with a bird, then the hand-like marks can sort of be massaged into maybe they were human hands and just smudged a bit. And I missaw them in the moonlight.
You get right next to it, Catherine, and it looks at you again. Blinks.
I look back down.
Oh, that is a bad idea. You look down and the world turns and you realize that you're 40, 50 feet up in the air now, and suddenly there's not a whole lot that is holding you on. And so I think I'd like a dexterity roll to see if you can hang on.
Barely. I rolled a 43 under 45.
So you slip forward a little bit and you grab the branch, and the branch starts to shake, and you grab further back and you start to scramble a little bit to push your legs out a little bit to sort of widen the base so you can feel a little bit more secure, and the branch starts to move, and the raven just very lightly bops around, and then it moves to the other side, like towards the trunk of the tree, and it lands directly on where the branch meets the tree, and there is a hideous cracking sound.
Oh, great.
You hear it before you feel it. The branch begins to give way.
What do I roll to get back safely?
Well, that's a fantastic question. One could roll climb, I think is a fantastic option. Even jump would be reasonable.
Well, I rolled an 83 over 20, so I'm gonna have to push the roll.
Okay, so I just, as your keeper, want to remind you two things. One, you don't have to push the roll. There's no requirement there. Two, failed push rolls are bad.
I feel like I have to because people can break their necks and die from less than a 40-foot drop.
Okay, then push the roll.
I have rolled a 49 over 20.
Okay, so that's a failed push roll. It's D6 per 10 feet, and so I'm going to roll 4d6 worth of damage. Detective Locke, the branch snaps. The raven goes into the air, and as does Catherine. She goes into the air and begins to fall.
I will...
Yes.
Oh, God. In the off chance she doesn't grab any other branches on her way down or hit anything that might slow her fall, hopefully, I'm going to brace myself under where she's falling in hopes that, I don't know, there's no way I'm catching her.
Okay, so here's what I'll do. I think it is reasonable that you could react fast enough to get what you think is under where she's at. And I also think 40 feet is at least reasonable enough time to have tried to grab onto something else. It is a failed push roll, and so I'm going to not forget that, of course. But I do think it's reasonable to give you perhaps Let's see here. We're grabbing onto something. I think you make a luck roll.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Of course, I get an 11 under 75.
Okay. So that's a hard success on a luck roll. Or wait, 1/5? That's extreme. So I will say that you do lose some momentum, because what happens is that you grab on to one or two branches. They don't hold you though, but they do slow your fall. So what I will do is I will give you half the damage I was going to give you. And what I'll do is I'll give half the damage that you were going to get to Miss Locke. So Catherine, you're going to take 4 points of damage. Detective Locke, you're going to take 2 points of damage. And both of you land essentially in a heap. That is hearable by the Thoroughgoods, by the way.
You think everybody's okay?
What was that?
Well, the screaming.
Who screamed?
Okay, we should go check on Detective Locke.
I mean, I thought I heard something. Was that the detective? Was that that nice young lady that we met a few moments ago?
I don't know, but we should go check that out. And then these will still be here when we get back.
Yes, yes, of course.
All right, I'll go. I'll follow the sound.
Yeah, lead on. Yes, I'll be right behind you.
Yeah. So after that, horrifying sort of snapping sound, and then the two of your bodies colliding, moments afterwards, the hustling footsteps of the Thoroughgoods arrive back.
Miss Chamberlain, are you all right?
Oh, good Lord. What happened?
This one wanted a higher vantage point.
I fell out of the tree. I told you I'd stay away from the crime scene.
Unfortunately, that branch was part of the crime scene.
What was it you were hoping to see?
What I had been, in my dreams. The visions.
Dreams?
It was accurate, though.
You dreamed of falling out of a tree?
No, I dreamed of the area from above.
Oh, yes, I think I understand now. So you climbed up the tree to see if it looked the same as it does in your dreams in real life. That was somewhat reckless, was it not?
I got permission.
Not from the tree, from the looks of things. Are you all right? Should we go and... do you need a hand back to the car? Should we take you to the hospital?
Hey, Captain, that's a great question. So out of the maximum pool of hit points you have, how many?
1/4.
It's just important to know that it's less than half. That's important.
Sorry, 1/3.
Okay, still less than half, so that's good.
I'll be all right. I just need to go back to my dorm, take some aspirin, and go to bed.
You could very easily have a concussion. Just fell from quite a height.
Did I land on my head, Detective?
Did your head hit the ground at all?
I don't think so.
Which I can't imagine it wouldn't have.
Nah, I'm fine.
Well, why don't you just stay with us for a little while anyways, just in case.
Yeah, there's no way you just fell that distance, even landing on another person, and are just gonna nap it off.
She landed on you? No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to take a stand on this. I made this mistake last night, and I'm not going to make it today. The two of you are coming with us to the hospital right now. No argument. It's going to happen. Come along.
Mr. Thurgood, I already was going to take myself to the hospital, and you are not the boss of me. It's also my car that we're taking there.
Well, then why are we wasting time? We should be getting there straight away.
Detective, do you think you should be driving in your state?
I will drive the auto.
Okay.
I will let you drive my auto. Again, still in charge.
Well, we'll let a medical professional decide who's in charge of who right now, and that's exactly where we're going. Come along. And I'm just going to start striding down the hill in a manly fashion.
Do you need some help getting to the car, Detective? Ms. Chamberlain, do you need, I offer them.
Of course, he's completely forgotten to offer them any help.
What a gentleman you are, Charles.
I'm a what? Oh. All right, yes. Lean on me. Come on.
So we hobble our way to the car.
Get in the car. Someone drives to, I imagine, St. Mary's because it's the last hospital you were at. The nursing students there and the staff give you a good look over. They are very concerned about the fall. They're very concerned for both Detective Locke and Miss Chamberlain, and will both happily make first aid rolls on the both of you. All right. 1 and 2. Okay, so they are going to take a look at the detective first, and in doing so, they are going to help you heal a single hit point. And they do the same for you, Miss Chamberlain. You are able to recover a hit point. They tell you to stay out of trees.
That feels swell. Thanks, doctors. Miss Chamberlain, before we leave, I'll still have something to discuss with you. But also, since my vehicle brought you here, I'm happy to drive you home as well.
I appreciate that, Detective. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Okay. Are the Thurgoods making, or the group making any sort of plans before they depart or separate? Or are they all just staying together to drive Miss Chamberlain home?
I think certainly they will have been at the hospital, and Charles will have sort of been pacing anxiously back and forth in the waiting room until they're released. Presumably they're not being kept in overnight then. I think we've had quite enough excitement for one evening, don't you? Perhaps we could reconvene in the morning. I have a few leads I'd like to follow up, if that's all right, Detective, with regard to the markings on that bowl.
You know where I work. If you come across any information in your own time and you want to bring any notes to me or call the station to find where I might be, you're welcome to, or we could reconvene together in person and explore the leads together if you'd like.
Well, I have a few contacts who might be able to point me in the right direction. I tell you what, why don't I get in touch with them, see what they have to say, and then I'll let you know what we can pursue. And if you wish to speak with them yourself, then I'm sure that can be arranged.
Thank you. That's wonderful, sir. Absolutely swell. And thank you again for your help as well, Miss Thurgood.
Always happy to help. One of Arkham's finest. So are we convening again in the morning? Is it dinner time?
It's actually probably past dinner time.
Charles, you know how I get if I don't get something to eat.
Yes, of course. Let's go home and we'll have a bite to eat, and then we'll get a good night's sleep and start afresh tomorrow.
Maybe I'll treat you both to coffee sometime when I can take you to somewhere public to sit, Miss Thurgood, with less questions, as she sort of gestures to your dress.
Yes, I should probably get out of this dress. And yes, so tomorrow did you want to go with me to see Frederick about the symbols? And I take out the notebook, the small notebook that I had in my pocket.
I should follow up on some leads at the university, so I don't see any issue with also meeting up with you to talk to him. Thank you very much for the offer. Yeah, absolutely.
Annie Mae, do you have any colleagues at the Miskatonic that are specialists in this sort of ancient mythological languages?
Oh, yeah. Yes, my dear friend Frederick von Liechtenstein. He's been to the house for dinner before. Charles.
Oh, how could I forget? Of course, yes, Frederick, yes. How is the dear fellow? How is his gout?
Oh, he is wonderful. His gout is, I haven't asked him about his gout in a while. I'll be sure to ask him about that when I see him tomorrow.
Excellent. Does he still have that ridiculous mustache?
He does. Try not to stare too much tomorrow, Detective Locke. He is a man of many talents. But he is one of the smartest men I know, next to my dear brother, of course.
I have met men before with as much mustache as sense, to varying scales, so I will do my best to not stare or...
I think he's trying to emulate that artist, Dali.
Ah.
Somewhat unsuccessfully, if you ask my opinion.
Yes, but his knowledge of ancient languages and hieroglyphs is not matched. Yeah, here on the East Coast. Not matched at all.
Oh, second to none. Second to none, yes.
All right, so tomorrow then, Chamberlain, if you decide that you want to have those extra tests done, so we can see what level your gift is at, please, let me know.
If you're going to be at the university tomorrow, we can meet.
Wonderful. Like, Annie Mae's face just brightens up. Good, I have some books I'll bring. Yes. And you're okay with having some, stickies on your face? We'll talk tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll just sort of head home then, I guess.
Yeah, the Thorogood's exit stage left, as it were, and they head back home, and that leaves Detective Locke and then Miss Chamberlain.
On the drive back to Miss Chamberlain's house, or to her dorms, rather, I'm going to talk with her a little bit. Miss Chamberlain, your friend's beau that she was trying to meet up with, Brian, do you know anything about him? Other than him not being very faithful to commitments?
I mean, I think he's in a couple of my classes, but I don't know him very well personally.
Which classes did you have together?
He's in the same class with Professor Schumacher that I have, and he might be in another class, but to be honest, he wasn't really someone who caught my eye, if you get my drift.
Of course. Of the other people you were drinking with last night, I'm sure that some of them were already at the station when we wrangled people up, but anybody else who either maybe left early or saw the person who left early with Brian who might be able to identify, or just classmates of yours I might be able to speak to?
I mean, honestly, I had a couple more drinks than I probably should have, Detective, so I don't even really remember who was there.
All right, Miss Chamberlain. Well, I appreciate your willingness to help as much as you could. When you were up in that tree, did you find what you were looking for? It sounded like you did.
Yes, it matched what I've been seeing perfectly, and I don't recall there being any blood or anything like there was in real life in my dreams, but the look from above was uncanny.
Interesting. That probably has no bearing on anything. I'm glad you found what you were looking for. Try not to go traipsing around any murder scenes again, if you can help it. Dreams or not, but...
Well, to be honest, I was planning on going there even before I found out it was a murder scene. I didn't know that there had been anything that had happened until tonight. I wasn't seeking out the scene for the murder, as I'm sure you gathered, given that I wasn't trying to get too close, but...
And I'll drive her home. No other real pressing questions on my mind for now, but I know where I can find her, so...
Indeed you do. All right, so, Miss Chamberlain, you head back to your dorm building and then obviously your room. And then Detective Locke, you head back to your home. Everybody gets an opportunity to just take in a little bit of what's happened today. The Thurgoods have a reasonably fine meal. Obviously, there are some questions. At least the staff there is waiting for you to get back. They've paused their normal routine in hopes of making sure that they can have a meal ready for when you arrive. But it's put on soon after you arrive.
We'll just go home, have a bite to eat, and then probably head fairly early to bed, I think. It's been quite a day. Unless Annie Mae wants to head off to the woods to do a bit of exploring.
No. Annie Mae will be going to bathe and then straight to bed.
Alrighty then. And then I suppose I'll just ask for clarity's sake, Miss Chamberlain, are you going straight to bed? And same with you, Detective Locke.
Absolutely. It has been an adventure. I am ready to sleep.
Now I'll just listen to the radio, unwind for the night, and go to bed. Usual work night.
Fair enough. It must be in the middle of the night, Detective, when you regain consciousness. It's different, though. You don't feel like you have control of your body. You wake in your bed, your eyes open to the room, dark. You try to move your head, but you can't. You try to move your legs. You can't even feel them. You can't feel your shoulders, your arms. You are almost like a log laying there in bed, and thus can barely react when your bedroom door opens and a figure enters wearing a very long white sheet. And there is something that comes over you, a feeling. Dread is not a fair enough word. You can't move your body, but you can feel your heart pound in your chest. The sheet isn't some simple bed sheet. It's a shroud wrapped around them, stained in ugly colors.
Like the one from the scene of the crime?
Perhaps. The figure in the sheet moves very slowly towards your side of the bed, and then in an unspeakable way leans over from the foot of the bed, leans over and puts its shrouded face next to yours. It leans to face you, and you smell this miasma that comes off of it. Ozone and damp water, and it is accompanied by a pair of hands that come up next, exceedingly long fingers, leathery skin, and you can tell from its fingertips that something is dripping from him. You feel it against your nightshirt or perhaps the blanket. Each drop. And that body in the shroud presses against you. The hands come up onto your shoulders, and this horrific wailing begins. And you're going to roll sanity for me.
That is a 19 under my 50.
Very good. So it does not take any sanity from you, but it does take a night of sleep. You wake seconds thereafter in your room. The door to your bedroom is shut. There is no sign of the figure in the darkness.
What about my sheets and my nightshirt? Does it look like anything got on them?
Indeed. There are tiny droplets.
What color?
There's no coloration to them. Perhaps it's water. There's the smell of a lake, though.
I see. Summoner's Pond, perhaps. I am going to set aside my nightshirt and my blanket to deal with later and get ready to go to the station. I'm not going to leave yet. I need to make some choices, but they might be coming.
Okay. For you, Catherine, you have a restful night's sleep.
Any dreams?
No. No dreams this time. But you will heal 2 hit points.
Hey, I'm almost full health again.
Mm-hmm. And we can pick up early the next morning. I will allow, of course, Detective Locke to tell us what she is going to do with her, broken night of sleep. Besides coffee, I would imagine.
I'm going to look for other signs that anyone else, obviously, of course, it would have had to have been a person trying to scare me away from this investigation. So I'm going to look to see if there's other signs that anything else was in my home, anyone else. Yes, there's perhaps lake water or something on my bedding and my night clothes, but on any doors, any windows that were open, is there signs of entry, anything?
I think a rousing spot hidden is probably called for here.
25 under my 59, so that's under half. So
hard success. So one of the kitchen windows had been left open to allow the gentle, autumn temperatures to bring their wonderful smells in. And near one of the windows, you find just the tiniest bit of pooled water.
I'm going to call the station and I'm going to ask to speak directly with the chief. It's
probably 1 a.m. and
it's still the middle of the night when I'm up and about. Okay, great. Never mind. I'm going to ask to leave a note for the chief.
Done. What would you like to tell him?
I think somebody's trying to scare me off the case.
Duly noted. That has been passed to the chief.
Then I am going to be a bad little detective, and I think I'm going to hop in my truck and head south to Sumner's Pond.
Okay. You're going to head south in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Fantastic. So you head south to the pond.
I'm not stopping my search at this one place. It's just the largest one in the area. So it's where her sleepless mind went first.
Sure. Yeah. You head out into the night down French Hill Street until you get to Sumner's Pond. There's no one else here, which is at least visibly good for you. Your lights shine down into a wide pond that is well known to the people of Arkham.
There's nobody here currently, but I'm just going to sort of wander around the edge of the pond, slowly sweeping my flashlight about to see if it seems like people have been here recently, signs of any activity. And if there isn't, then I will leave and I'll drive to the next body of water.
The thing that you'd probably... Actually, you probably have Arkham history, right?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it while you're there at the pond.
Oh my god. I'm going to be so screwed later. That's a 10. So I'm using my good dice on a history roll. It's 10 under 30.
So you'd know that the pond is sort of this glacial kettle hole. And at its lowest point is probably 60 feet. It's fed by runoff from the Miskatonic River. You also know that there's quite a bit of good fishing here. Bass, channel catfish, yellow perch, and what you hear mostly right now in the middle of the night is bullfrogs that croak.
Thinking about my knowledge of Arkham history and activities at places like this, can I think of any other nearby water features like this that are maybe a little less well-trodden, or that young people hang out at? One of the two. Not like fisherman types, basically.
Yeah, so you know that there's this small body of water. It's probably half the size of this big pond here. But there is a body of water that's between the University Athletic Field and Clark's Corners that some teenagers and some college kids have been known to frequent because it gives them a chance to get west of town and hide amongst some of the nearby tree cover and have a grand old time. You've had to occasionally stop out here before. In more of your direct policing days.
It's a longer drive, but it's where I head next.
This, too, doesn't reveal much outside of the fact that there's certainly a body of water here. It looks like there have been some activities probably during Halloween. There's evidence of bottles and other, well, frankly, detritus that the college students left behind.
I'll sort of poke around the detritus a bit, but then, I don't know, I guess I'll head back to town. Around when would it probably be that I get back into town after making such long drives and poking around?
Yeah. Probably about 3 or 4 in the morning. You will not recover a hit point tonight, that's for sure.
No. I will go back home and I will make myself some coffee and some breakfast, and I will gather my blanket and nightshirt that got the lake smelling water on them to put in my truck to take to the station with me.
Okay. Seems fair.
And I'll just head into the station early this morning at a more reasonable, less concerning hour. Again, I'll eat breakfast and I'll mill about until at least the sun comes up, and then I'll head into work.
Yeah, there are officers, and even the chief shows up probably just past 6.
Perfect. And I'll get there around when the chief usually does.
You are handed a stack of papers when you come in. Oh, detective, we had some, with the story, we had some people who, they decided that they might have a lead for us.
Fantastic.
So here you go. And they hand you this series of descriptions. So I will give them to you, as they're not technically handouts, but I will give them to you so you can have them. So lead 1 is from a gentleman named Kirby Bentham. And he was traveling from Newburyport to Arkham. He missed the turn for Arkham, and he was stopped westbound on Martins Beach Road, where he was waiting for daylight, when he was passed by a black Model T truck at high speed.
Okay. Does it say when that was?
He is unsure of the time. That's what this note says. He just knows that it was dark. He recalls seeing only a driver, but no passenger. And the door of the truck there was an image on a bell or an anchor. Number 2. So this lead is from Beatrice Pellegrino, who claims to have seen a green Model A truck eastbound on Water Street around 1 a.m. that morning.
Any other info on that one?
No other deeper description. She doesn't talk about whether or not she saw 1 or 2 people.
If it was any later, that could have been me, since it's the same color and model vehicle as I do drive. And I would have had to head out that way to get to the crime scene, but that's just a little too early. So, worth the note.
The third and final lead is from a young boy, Jimmy Eddings, who spotted a black Model T truck driving east along Water Road around 1:30 in the morning while he was stargazing. The note here says that he didn't get a look at the driver, but did notice that there was a large number of tools in the truck's bed and recognized the vehicle's make.
Any notes from the young boy, Mr. Eddings, about marks on the truck? Art on doors, anything like that?
No, he just mentioned there were a bunch of tools in the bed. He could notice that there were a bunch of tools.
Well, that's two notes of a black Model T specifically, and going to and from the right area. So definitely noteworthy.
But yeah, those are some clues that you get. We can move forward to morning proper.
I get handed these things while also carrying my blanket and a nightshirt in my arm. I thank them for the leads, but then I'm gonna go see the chief.
Okay. You go in and see the chief. Morning. He looks up at you. You're here early.
Did you get my note?
Yeah, I did. I was hoping you'd come in. I'd like to talk to you about it.
Somebody came in through my kitchen window.
God.
Drenched in water. Some was pooled under the open window and crept into my bedroom and over me while I slept. They woke me up entering my room and dripped water on me on my nightshirt. I hold up nightshirt, which smells like lake water, and onto my blanket, which also now smells much like lake water.
That is unbelievable.
They were in a disgusting costume and smelled of lake and miasma and just reeked. Clearly trying to shake me. And I can't think of any other reason to sneak into a detective's house and try to scare them to their core like this in the middle of the night, other than the now very public murder case that I'm investigating. If it's just a break-in to scare me for some other reason, it's still police business to know about, but it being the same night the news broke of this possibly ritual, there's a group that's possibly partaking in some form of disgusting rituals. I wouldn't put those types of people past breaking into a woman's house to scare her.
No. Your antiquarian, was he any help?
A bit. Him and his sister accompanied for most of the day and looked at the candles and the bowl and gave me some insight. They're both professionals in related fields to the objects. She's a professor at the university, and so her insight on the candles was quite useful. Apparently, they're astrological symbols of constellations, and their placement on the slate seemed to matter to her. And so I now know that one of them was Sagittarius, the one in this position on the slate, and she'll open her notes about the crime scene. This one was Sagittarius, this one was Virgo, over here was Gemini, and down here was Pisces. So that, well, it doesn't mean much to me, must mean something to the people who are doing this. And then apparently the bowl is from the late 1600s, early 1700s. And Mr. Thurgood has some ideas of eccentric antique sellers who might have ideas of where it could have come from and what type of, who might have owned it, whether it's been passed down through a family for all those years or sold recently. Might be able to get some leads. I think another thing we should look at, sir, is if somebody on the force could cross-reference any potential thefts, because whoever's doing this is probably not some rich antique collector, but maybe someone who had access to a rich antique seller's house at some point. So if there were any reported thefts of antique fine silver bowls it has heraldry symbols etched into it, so it must have mattered to whatever family bought it.
Well, you should involve the university and see if they have anything in their library which might point to where it came from.
Professor Thurgood is going to talk to one of her colleagues, and I'm going to meet her at the university later so I can cross-reference their library while I'm there as well.
Well, Locke, I'm going to do something for you. I think it might help. If you run into any sort of business at the college, I want you to look up a friend of mine. He works there. His name is Henry Armitage. He writes you this sort of note. Henry's a bit eccentric, but he knows an awful lot about a lot of things.
Well, thank you, sir. What does he do at the university?
The chief chuckles. He does a little bit of everything. He's in charge of some fairly important parts of, what the university's real mission is. Currently, he's serving as the head librarian. And so if there is something that you need found, Henry will point you the way to it.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. I'm sure that you probably also heard about it, but there were some leads about a black Model T being seen in the vicinity of the murder around the same times that people involved might have been coming or going. Middle of the night, Halloween. Once going down Martins Beach Road, another point going down East Water Road. So both very close to Robbins Hill. Do you know of any companies in the area that have a logo of a bell or an anchor on their truck doors?
Let's make a roll for the chief. He seems to think about it for a second. Well, there's a few, but perhaps it might be best to get a list of them together. How about you leave the truck leads with me, and I'll have the office start scrambling around.
Fantastic. Give him those lead papers that I was handed. Would you also have the office look into... I don't know, Chief, this person soaked in lake water that was in my room last night is gonna be hard to ignore for me. Maybe it's the fact that I've been up since 1 a.m. now because of it, but I don't know, something just makes it feel like it's connected to this. I also know I just don't feel safe not looking into it.
Well, you've had a pretty exciting night, so go easy on the coffee, detective.
She is going to not fully hide it behind her back like a child with a cookie she's not supposed to have, but she will sort of move the large vacuum flask that she's holding a little more behind her leg than before. I will go as easy as I can on the coffee today.
We have plans to inform the Overtons. It took us getting into Brian's records at the university, but they'll place a call to Georgia where his parents live.
Apparently, that I'm glad that we can reach them now and that they will be notified. Apparently, he was supposed to be meeting a girl at a drunken college party. Clearly we wrangled a bunch of drunken youth that night. We knew that it was happening. But some of the people who were there, one of them was a girl that Brian was supposed to be meeting that night. And then he left with a different young woman instead. But they left early from the party, which obviously goes hand in hand with him being drugged and dragged up a hill. But while I'm at the university today, I'll be looking into his scorned woman as well as seeing if anyone knows who the woman he went off with was. Because she has to be related. If nothing else, if he left her company and went off with other people, then she would at least know. So I need to find who that other girl was. I figure she's either involved or in danger for knowing things now.
Well, I suspect you have an awful lot to get to. Are you going to keep the Thorogoods involved?
They're both looking into the symbols further for me, so I will probably continue consulting them for now.
All right. We're counting on you.
I know, Chief. I won't let you down.
I know. You hustle out of the office. Speaking of the Thurgoods, I'd like to check in with them this morning and see that they've gotten themselves prepared.
Oh, absolutely, yes. My shirt is tucked in and my tie is tied.
Wonderful. Annie Mae?
Yeah, I'm up and dressed, and I've got cute little petticoat on with some trousers. Because if we're going to be traipsing through the mud again, I really need to be dressed appropriately.
Yeah?
Wellington boots would be best.
I got my horseback riding boots on. Yep. Brother, are you ready?
I am. Where are you off to?
Oh, I was going to head over to the university.
Ah, yes, splendid. I thought from your apparel that you were going off for another hike through the hills. Are you going off to meet Frederick? Is that the plan?
Yes, I was going to stop in and see Frederick, and then either meet up with Detective Locke before or after that discussion. She said she was going to be over there today, but we should probably finish following those footprints over by the scene of the crime.
Yes, indeed, we should. Yes, absolutely. What I would like to do, though, while you're speaking to Frederick, perhaps I can do some research in the vicinity. I could pop into the Orne library there and see if I can find anything on this motif, this two figures in woodland apparel, whatever they represent.
Oh, well, then the game is afoot.
Ah, indeed, my dear sister, the game is, as you quite rightly say, afoot. But we will save our following the footprints until later.
Aha, yes.
Do you see what I did there, my dear?
I did. Oh, yes. You are quite the brother.
Well, yes, I suppose one must retain a light heart, even with these rather unfortunate circumstances in which we find ourselves.
Agreed. Well, I will see you after I talk to Frederick then.
Yes, indeed.
So you're both going to head to the university, just in different spaces and places. And Miskatonic is a rather large series of buildings, so... And then we'll just finally sort of check in with Catherine in the morning. You certainly feel better than you did yesterday. Actually, you feel way better. It's almost as if the fall didn't happen.
Yeah. Maybe if this Thurgood person that I met the night before still wants to hunt me down and run tests on me, that might be okay. I still don't really believe in all of that nonsense. Having helped my father deal with dead bodies when I was younger kind of turned me off to the notion that there's something greater. I don't really think there's a God. I don't really think there's an afterlife. So all of that stuff sounds like hokum, but...
Okay, so you have class this morning. I imagine that's probably where you're headed.
Yeah.
So you're going to go through your sort of morning of classes, likely until some things happen. Interestingly enough, you will get a chance to inquire or potentially get a hold of other professors while you're there if you want to seek out any additional information. So if you are interested in what has happened with this case, then we'll probably get a chance to dive into that in a bit.
Yeah.
So with all points headed towards the university and perhaps in different locations and spaces, I'm going to wrap our session there. And then we will open next episode at the lofty and vaunted Miskatonic University. So thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying our Arkham investigations, and we'll see you next time.